Good morning, everyone. Today we will be looking into the topic of qualitative analysis of cations, basically. So, qualitative analysis of cations, you might have already done this particular thing in your 12th standard. So, in your practicals, you might have analyzed various cations. So, in there, you might have classified various cations into various groups. So you might be familiar with these groups and the corresponding cations observed in those groups. And you might also be familiar with all the group reagents that are mentioned in here. So in this particular topic, what we are going to learn is why, what is the basis on which we are classifying these metal ions into various groups. So why, when you add certain reagents, only a certain type of metal ions are getting precipitated but not the others? So what is the basis behind these precipitation with the respective group reagents? So that is what I'm going to explain you in this particular topic that we are going to learn today. So here the basis of this whole concept of adding a group reagent and precipitating certain metal ions is based upon two important things, and that is, one is solubility product and another is common ion effect. So both these topics, I believe, you might be little familiar with, but still I will just quickly brush through these topics, and then I'll try to uh, help you understand what is the basis, like how we are dividing them into various groups. So let me start with the chemical equilibrium, how a chemical equilibrium reaction looks like, and how you write the equilibrium constant expression, which you are pretty aware of. And you also know the fact that whenever any of this species is a solvent, they are usually included with the constant, and the expression will shorten out to be like this. So this particular statement saying that if it's a pure liquid or pure solid or a solvent present in excess, these terms in this expression would be reduced. So this particular thing you are already aware of. So these are the various types of chemical equilibrium you might have seen or you might not have so far, which some of them you would be learning as you study more about different types of chemical equilibrium. So there you might be looking into these various equations. So I just give you a brief table on this particular chemical equilibrium. You can go through it. If you have certain things you ask, you can definitely ask me later. Coming to the solubility product, this is the first important basis of our classification of cations into various groups. So here we talk about this solubility product in when it is a saturated solution. So in a saturated solution, there always exists equilibrium between the pure solid and its corresponding ions in solution. So if you write equilibrium constant expression, the expression would be something like this, which and this particular term can is a kind of constant, so this can be included with the equilibrium constant. So a new equilibrium constant expression comes, which is now defined by Ksp, which is nothing but called as solubility product. So now solubility product is equal to ionic product concentration at in a saturated solution. So Ksp you can define as is the product of molar concentration of ions in a saturated solution. So this is what we define as solubility product, and we talk about solubility product especially in sparingly soluble salts, and in saturated solution this particular topic come into the picture. Moving to what do you mean by ionic product? Ionic product is nothing but product of the molar concentration of ions. Okay, so basically if you look into the previous expression, this is also product of the molar concentration of ions, but in this case we call this as KSP because it is in the saturated solution. However, if it is not a saturated solution, it would be represented by a general term called QP, which is nothing but ionic product. So whenever QP is less than KSP, it is an unsaturated solution. However, when QP becomes equal to KSP, then it becomes a saturated solution. However, if QP exceeds that of KSP, then what happens is a phenomena called precipitation. So precipitation to happen, you require the QP, that is product of the molar concentration of ions, to exceed that of the KSP value. Now, what do you mean by common ion effect? This also you are pretty aware of. This is on the basis of Le Chatelet's principle. So here you have a weak electrolyte and barium nitrate is a strong electrolyte. So a common ion between these both equations is barium. So what happens when the concentration of barium increases on the right hand side? What happens? The equilibrium will be shifting in the backward direction. This will prevent the dissociation of barium iodide. So it is a phenomena of suppression of ionization of weak electrolyte by addition of a strong electrolyte. However, this common ion effect can have also a reverse effect. Suppose some electrolyte you add which will somehow consume the ions in the equilibrium, then what will happen is the reaction will shift in the forward direction. That means it will help this equilibrium to go into more of the ions. So both ways this is possible, and this is on the basis of the Le Chatelet's principle, which you are pretty aware of. Now let me tell you that how on the basis of this solubility product and the common ion effect we can define the classification of various metals into various groups. So basically, if you let me go back to the table of grouping. So if you look into this table, there are two groups in which the group reagent is causing the precipitation of sulfides. So in case of second group and in the case of fourth group, both these groups have their metal ions precipitated by the group reagents into sulfides. So that is what the question is about. So let me go back to the question. So question tells that why cobalt sulfide is in the fourth group. So probably I'll write it down, then you would be able to understand. Cobalt is in the fourth group. Okay, so fourth group, cobalt is in the fourth group. So why does cobalt doesn't precipitate? Why cobalt sulfide doesn't precipitate in the second group? I have just now showed you the table that in the second group also the metal ions are precipitated as their corresponding sulfides. So why you have why the fourth group metal ions doesn't precipitate as sulfides in this when you add group reagents of the second group? So that is what we have to answer. So to simplify the matter, here I have shown two cations, copper 2, which is your group 2 cation, and cobalt 2, which is your group 4 cation. So both of them, when you add H2S, they are precipitating in their sulfide form. But when you add this copper 2 is your group 2, however cobalt is in the group 4. Now to make things clearer, let me also add the group reagents. So the group reagent for the second group is nothing but HCl plus you pass H2S through them. Okay, and what about the group reagent here? Here you have group reagents as NH4Cl plus NH4 OH plus you have your H2S. Okay, so these are the group reagents that are there. This is the group reagent for your first reaction, the second group, and this is the group reagent for your fourth group. So when you add your second group reagent, only copper sulfide is precipitated. However, cobalt sulfide is not precipitated, which is actually from the group 4. Why? What is the reason that this happens? So the first question let us try to answer is what is the two, better to write what are the two situations. So here if you look into these conditions of the group reagent, you will find that group 2 H2S is passed in a acidic medium. So in group 2 you have, what do you call it as, acidic system. However, in case of group 4, so this is the reaction condition for a group 2 cation. And what is the reaction condition for a group 4 cation? This is basically basic condition. So basic condition is what the condition for a group 4 reagent. Now, so this is the thing that is there. So both the conditions for group 4 and group 2 are completely different. Group 2 the conditions are acidic, in group 4 the conditions are basic. Now what difference that makes? So in order to understand that, let us move to the second question, which says the criteria of precipitation. So what is the criteria of precipitation? In order for a substance or a salt to precipitate, what is the condition that we need? We need that Qp should be greater than Ksp. If this particular thing is satisfied, then that means precipitation will happen. So when you are adding group 2 reagent, what is happening? Copper sulfide is getting precipitated. So that means the cobalt sulfide Ksp is kind of not reached. Okay, so that is why cobalt sulfide is not precipitated. What I mean to say is that the Ksp of copper sulfide is lower than Ksp of cobalt sulfide. Okay, so that means at a lower concentration of sulfide ion, you are able to reach the Ksp of the copper sulfide. So how that is possible? So for that, let us look into the equilibrium expression. So if we look at the equilibrium expression here, you'll find that H2S is a weak electrolyte, so it will dissociate as shown here. However, HCl, which is the group reagent that you add here, it's a strong electrolyte, so it will be dissociating as H plus and Cl minus. So what is happening? There is an increase of concentration of H plus, so reaction will be moving in the towards the left hand side. So concentration of sulfide ion will therefore decrease here. Concentration of sulfide ion will decrease here. So what happens? It won't be enough for reaching the KSP of copper sulfide, and hence only copper sulfide would be precipitated, because only copper sulfide KSP would be exceeded in when you add dilute H2S under acidic condition. However, if you look in the same expression in the, when you add the group 4 reagent, is that group 4 reagent is basic, so that means you have OH minus coming into the solution. So what it will do, it will abstract H plus. So what will happen is that a new equilibrium is possible here, which is H plus plus OH minus giving you H2. So what happens? This H plus is now consumed by the basic condition and converted to H2. So there is a reduction in H plus ion here. So what will happen? The equilibrium will be shifted towards the right hand side. So because of which concentration of sulfide ion will increase under basic condition. So because of that, what will happen? KSP of cobalt sulfide is reached, and your at that particular moment your QP, that is ionic product, will exceed the KSP of cobalt sulfide, and therefore cobalt sulfide will be precipitated under in the group 4 condition. Okay, so this is the basis of grouping the metal ions into various groups, because it is on the basis of the both these facts, like KSP as well as the common ion effect. Both these factors we take into consideration, and we come to the conclusion like under which condition which metal ion will be precipitating under which condition is decided on the basis of these two important principles. So you can be asked the questions in various ways, a lot of different ways. So basically you have to use both the common ion effect as well as the solubility product thing to explain why you see the problem that you are being asked to. Okay, so I'll give you some questions also regarding that, which you can solve later, but this is the basis for grouping the cations into various groups. So I hope you understood this thing. In the next class we will be studying about the interference from the acid radicals. So till that, keep studying. Thank you very much.